What is up, FBL Molars? Hey guys, it's me, Chef, and we're back for week 2 of FBL. Wagon is still here because we're recording this right after the last one.
I'm freaking still here. I love FBL.
Woo, woo, we love FBL. So last week was a wheelchair. That game sucked. It was honestly
Get a load of that guy.
It was honestly worse than I remembered it being. But this week it's week 2 and versus. Do you know how to pronounce this person? Is it Khaki or is it like? Surely it's Khaki, right?
Oh, I don't know. Is this like the KAX person? Yeah, I don't know. I think I just call him Caxi or something.
All right. Well, you're Khaki.
It's absolutely wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's like Kazi or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we're versus that person, who...
Yeah, that person.
Good heavens, when you look at their team at matchup, wow, and I mean wow, the quality of Pokemon goes crazy here. They got Valiant, Moon, Iron Crown as their top 3, which is like fucking terrifying to look at in the prep doc. And then they've got Landorus, Blastoise, Rotom Heat, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, Quillfish, and Houndstone. Sorry. So... in terms of Mon quality, I will say this matchup was scarier than the last one, but in terms of how well we do into these Pokemon, I think the matchup was much better for us, right? I think this matchup definitely leaned towards me if I brought the right sets, and I think my sets were pretty cool here. So this entire pace, as you'll notice, it's called Please Win... Wait, is that even on screen? It is. Okay, it's called Please Win Kommo-O.
Yeah, it is.
So we're going for the Kommo-O game plan, and let me just say, for starters, this game also brought about my favorite new shit post, which was, oh my god, trying to calc with Kommo-O is the worst shit ever. So this set
this dude is so surprisingly weak. Hey, Central.
Oh, well, Central's in our recording now. Hey, Central.
Oh.
Alright, welcome to FBL Central. So yeah, Kommo-O is surprisingly weak. 110's attack is way lower than you'd think. But this set is a Chesto Berry, Soundproof, Terra Water with Drain Punch, Terra Blast, Dragon Dance, and Rest. So the Fighting plus Water combo of moves hits the entire team very hard, except for Quillfish. But Quillfish is very easily chipped down by our team because it's probably going to come and be the primary Scizor check if it comes, so it'll be taking U-turns throughout the game. And we assumed Rocky Helmet, so it'll also be taking Spikes Chip throughout the game. So getting it into range of Kommo-O is pretty easy. And even if it is a toxic set, because we are Resto Chesto, we can abuse it for setup opportunities. So we can boost up to +4 before we actually get threatened by the combination of Toxic and Gunk Shot. Into range of dying, which is kind of hilarious. Kommo-O is very bulky. We won't take that away from it, but it is piss weak. So this Kommo-O has to get to +2 in order to have a chance at winning the game. Terra Water Blast from +2 Adamant Kommo-O is a 25% chance to kill Iron Valiant from full. No bulk investment. Now, I don't know. I don't know about you guys in call. But Iron Valiant's not known for its bulk, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a sad calc, but yeah, we've learned pretty quickly that Kommo-O is you need a spike down, at least one.
Absolutely.
For this thing to function.
Well, good thing you have a Tinglu.
We do have a Tinglu, and also
I think we have the spikes.
We do match up very well into his spinner with our spin blocker, which we'll talk about in a second. I guess I should also say we're Soundproof expecting Roar Blastoise. Was there any other reason? I thought there was a second reason.
It was that, and then the potential of Psychic Noise, Iron Crown.
Yeah. For sure. So that was the general idea of this set. We're going to win with this set. As pathetic as Kommo-O is, we have to use it to win the game when we can. So the rest of this game plan was built around facilitating it to win. Oh, I guess I should also say our setup targets are Blastoise, Rotom, Roaring Moon if it's locked into a non-favorable move into us. We can actually set up in front of Valiant, which is pretty funny if it's not Specs. Was there anything else?
It can win the game in front of most things. It just absolutely couldn't be in front of Landorus because it just hits too hard.
Yeah.
Even though it does lose the 1v1 but you have to get 2 DDs, so you can't really do it in front of Lando.
And stay
and
out
then
of range
Ogre
of
Pawn.
Wave at the same time.
Yeah, right. And then Ogre Pawn can hit both base and
yeah.
and Terad for like killing damage, so it couldn't be in front of Ogre Pawn either. Everything else it realistically could set up against.
The other thing about this set that I totally forgot about until you mentioned Ogre Pawn, we have to break Sturdy on that Pokemon like immediately.
Yeah.
Like that is like step 1 of the game plan. Well, the spike is like comically important. In case you can't tell, we need it up to Oko Valiant. We need it up to deal with Crown. We need it up to break Ogre Pawn's Sturdy and to chip down a potential Coolfish. So spikes, very important. That is like the whole idea of this team is to let this Tinglu here set that fucking spike up. And honestly, that's all Tinglu is here to do, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I remember I was cool with just letting this Tinglu die.
Yeah, the game plan was literally just get the spike up, and then just like if you really wanted to, you could just spam Whirlwind until the thing died because you just didn't care.
Yeah, and if I could burn like booster speeds. I did. I think I
whirlwinded 10
popped
my booster speed crown immediately.
Yeah. We are Choppleberry because this Tinglu with a Choppleberry can comfortably live 2+1 focus blasts from Iron Crown. Which is fucking hilarious. Oh, Terra fighting Iron Crown too. Like not even just base. That's Terra.
Yeah, no. This Pokemon's a monster, bro.
It also, with this much SPDF investment, Iron Valiant without specs cannot 2-hit KO us with Moonblast, so if it clicks close combat, we just live with Choppleberry, lol. This Pokemon's so dumb. Otherwise, I mean, we're probably just gonna be clicking Ruination. We expected Banded Moon in the matchup, I'm pretty sure, which is like probably his most comfortable way of dealing with this. Oh, the other cool thing about Tinglu is one of the potential like stopping points for our Kommo-O was Scarf Trick Rotom. And if Rotom comes, it's probably going to be the initial Tinglu switch in, if I had to take a guess, right? And if we can bait it into clicking Trick Scarf on this guy and not on Kommo-O, yippee, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So that felt great into us. Central, did you bring the Scarf Trick Rotom, or was that someone else?
I brought Boots like a normal human being.
Okay.
I think a couple people brought Scarf Trick, or at least you played a couple mocks against it.
The self mocks I did, I definitely brought Scarf Trick. I know that. Maybe it was Cly's. I mocked a bunch of people for this game after week 1, by the way. I was not trying to lose again. And then to help us keep our spikes up, we've got big ass Brambleghast making his appearance here. So Blastoise.
You explain the nickname. What is the nickname?
So all of my nicknames are songs, and this is the name of a song that I thought.
I don't like that song.
Wow, what a great nickname theme, songs.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways, yeah, this Brambleghast is pretty raw. It comes in on no matter what toys is here. If it is just like a bulky SPDF Rapid Spin set to help out versus Greninja, we can come in on it and spin block it forever. And if it is a Smash toy set, we of course have the very cool Mirror Herb, and we outspeed Modest or Adamant Blastoise always. And as we found out, if Smash Toys hopes to make any kind of progress, it has to be a boosting nature, so it can't really afford to run Jolly. So if we can just copy the boost and deal with it, low-key Brambleghast becomes a demon in this matchup. With Whip, his only resists are Iron Crown and Roaring Moon, and I guess Rotom Heat as well. But none of those Pokemon... Wait, which one left? Who left? Central?
That was Central.
Alright, bye Central. Thank you for making an appearance. If any of those guys come in, Roaring Moon gets destroyed by Power Whip. It takes like 40% min roll, so after a spike, it's like low-key 2-hit KO'd. If Iron Crown is booster speed, we can burn that early, and if Tinglu is still around, we can guaranteed check it. And if Rotom Heat comes in and Tinglu is still around, we just go Tinglu, lol. Or we can just sack our Brambleghast and let Kommo-O get in and start going for game at that point.
Yeah, because if he wants to kill the Bramble, he has to click Overheat and drop himself. So
yep.
It's just like the most giga-free setup opportunity ever.
And since we're rest, we don't even have to fear the status. And then otherwise, we are... Holy shit, I got a cough. Holy shit, that was gross. Sorry, guys. Were Sneak, Spin, and Strength Sap. Sneak was here just because it felt useful. There was a situation when I talked about my lead that like counter Ogerpon could be a thing, and if we like pivot on that guy, bring in Bramblegast, we can threaten him with a kill. Rapid Spin was good for the hazard stack with Quillfish and Ogerpon. If they want to spike it up, we can threaten the spin later. And then Strength Sap was nice in exactly one mock where it let me 1v1 an Ogerpon, lol. That was pretty cool.
The move's broken.
Yeah, why not just run it, right? It's the best move in the game.
Yep.
And then the rest of our team is just built to deal with the annoying Pokemon. We have Booster Speed Calm Mind Screamtail that can 1v1 basically every Iron Crown that we expected to come. We super expected it to be Terra Fighting here. This Pokemon can low-key come in on Valiant and just set up a Calm Mind in front of it. We're Booster Speed, and we didn't really expect Booster Speed Valiant. We expected Life Orb or Specs. Life Orb if he wanted the value of Vacuum Wave, and Specs if he just wanted to blow past our team. I was expecting Life Orb because we do have a Muck. He might want to like switch up moves here and there. And Vacuum Wave's value. But we can come in with Screamtail, threaten it out because Valiant Spadef is super low. And that basically baits an Iron Crown. So that is a free Calm Mind opportunity. And then we can Fire Blast into Psychic to kill basically every Iron Crown. And with the Calm Mind Spadef boost, we actually aren't killed by Tachyon. Keep up. This set's fucking awesome. In case, I don't know if you guys remember, but last week we said that is the last time you'll see such a passive Screamtail. And this is what we mean. We basically run some dumbass Screamtail every other week that actually accomplishes something, unlike last time.
Yeah, not necessarily like booster speed Calm Mind every time, but it is going to often have some kind of offensive like thing it's doing.
Yep.
In some sense.
Yeah, and we didn't feel the need for Encore, so it felt super reasonable to do this. With Ice Beam, we also threaten Scarf Landorus. If that decides to make an appearance, we can threaten it with an OHKO with Ice Beam, unboosted, which is super fire. So that's also a pretty cool opportunity to set up in front of, or another Pokemon for us to set up in front of.
Was it really an unboosted threat?
Yeah, with 228, that's what the 228 is for. We can OHKO Landorus with Ice Beam.
Honestly, I was expecting you to say a +1.
No, it's actually like that's 65 special attack with the quad weakness. It can do some damage unboosted.
That's funny.
We can also revenge kill non-trailblazed Ogerpon if its sturdy is broken in any way. Ice Beam does like 60 to 70% or some shit like that. Yeah, and Roaring Moon probably isn't going to come in on, if it's like Bandit, it's probably not going to come in on Booster Energy Screamtail until we reveal all their moves. So basically it's just Iron Crown or Rotom, and I don't really think I need to reiterate why Rotom coming in is generally a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Swag. That's basically all this said. We got Scarf Greninja. This helps out versus the Valiant and the Moon. If they do decide to bring Booster Speed, we at least have ways to threaten them by outspeeding them. We are pretty, I mean, it's just basic ass Greninja. What else do you want me to say, bro? Pump Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, U-Turn. I mean, genuinely, this is the most standard Greninja you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty helpful versus like everything, including Crown also can booster, and then Trailblaze Ogerpon, like just everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
There was no reason not to run this.
Yeah, I mean, straight up. Again, Blastoise is the initial check to this, so if Blastoise comes in on like Spikes plus U-Turn, yippee, we get Bramblegast in, hello Power Whip, let's get some chip on some shit. Feels pretty good. And then lastly, we have our lead. This is a Assault Vest hard press Scizor. This shit is super fire, bro. So this Scizor generally leads favorably into everything but Rotom Heat. And again, Rotom Heat, I don't give a shit. I'm going Tinglu, getting that spike up, and potentially baiting the trick out immediately. So that felt pretty good. It leads well into Cornerstone. Max HP with, or like 248, 8 investment can live crit Ivy Cudgel from Ogerpon. So that is a free U-turn breaking the sturdy immediately. It leads well into Moon, unless it's like packing Fire Fang, but even then I don't think that OHKO'd me, unless it was like Banded, right?
I don't think, yeah, I think it needed boost.
Yeah. So we threaten that guy with the U-turn. Lead Valiant gets forced out with Bullet Punch. The real reason that we are Assault Vest is for lead Landorus. That guy was a big threat if it led off. We don't have great answers, and I didn't want to lead the Screamtail necessarily. I kind of wanted to bring it in on the Valiant later. So we needed something that led well into everything plus Landorus, and we're running Hard Press for the Landorus. Hard Press actually puts it in range of a Bullet Punch turn 2. So we actually have the potential to 2-hit KO Landorus.
Yeah, we were initially dual wing beat, but yeah, it didn't always do it. Hard press somehow always did it.
Yeah. Dual wing beat also
just barely. Right, yeah. But hard press is baller, so we did that. It was like just barely like perfect percentage.
Yeah, like it was.
And Chef has a 101, so he wasn't really gonna run much bulk.
Yeah, I agree. So it was just kind of a baller set all around. And that was the team. This is the only way to make Kommo-O work, by the way. If you draft Terra Kommo-O, I'm so sorry for you. You will have to do dumb shit like this, where you have to make such specific game plans and run booster speed, Calm Mind, Screamtail, and hard press Scizor. So anyways, let's get into
constantly run Dragon Dance instead of Clang Soul or anything else.
Oh yeah, Well, I'll talk about Kommo-O probably like week 5, like my opinions on it, but Clanger's Soul is a trap. So we get into the game, and immediately first thing I notice, Blastoise is not here. So spikes are here to stay, which is huge. That is like half our game plan.
Neither water is here.
Yeah, so Kommo-O
which was not expected.
Neither water and Rotom is here. This Kommo-O is going to win the game at some point. Like it felt super free, right? If I remember, there was a misclick in this game, right? Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
I think there was, yeah.
So we hit play. We also see the crown is Terra Grass and not Terra Fighting, which we didn't expect at all, but that is like the only thing that stops Kommo-O, I guess. But oh well.
Yeah, if you're in range, and only if.
Yeah. So we need to set up like kind of safely into it. I say if I DC a few times, my bad. And the reason was because a tornado literally ran by my house right before I played this game. So my power is out for like 3 hours, and this DC will be important later, as we'll see. But we lead Scizor into Roaring Moon, and this is like perfect for us. We just throw off a fat-ass U-turn as he reveals that he is banded off that damage. And hello, Rotom Heat. You know what's gonna happen here. We bring in that big-ass Tinglu, and we're throwing up our fucking spikes. Ogerpon comes in, which is like kind of concerning, but like again, I don't give a shit about this Tinglu. I'm clicking Whirlwind. So Ogerpon's Sturdy has been broken. This is huge. I click Ruinate. If I remember correctly, I don't think I click Whirlwind here. I think I clicked Ruinate again to prevent the Horn Leech from healing it back up, which was pretty stupid because there's no Blastoise. But
you might have even quaked.
Oh,
yeah, you quaked.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I realize now, the spinner wasn't here. This shit was never like going back to Sturdy, but I like tunnel vision super hard based off of mocks for this play. So that should have always been a Whirlwind, but it's okay. Scizor is still healthy enough that we can threaten this. We did actually die to that there if it crit, but I just was a baller and said fuck that. He reveals Crown, and it's not booster speed, so I'm immediately like, this shit's AV Terra Grass for Greninja.
Also, Terra Grass is into the U-turn, so now it's in +1 like Drain Punch range, I think.
That was the misclick. I disconnected here, and then I like reconnected, and I was like on my MacBook at this time, so I was like trying to, because my internet was down, so I had to play on my hotspot. So I was like hovering with my trackpad as soon as I reconnected, and I accidentally clicked Bramblegast. This was not. I was totally trying to sack Scizor here. That was the plan. But Bramblegast comes out, which kind of sucks because now he gets Moon in for a free ass banded U-turn kill. I'm like, shit, that's pretty bad. And I fumble. I get stressed out because I misclick, and then I go hard Scizor. And he reveals that he wants to lock Knock here instead of U-turn. If he does U-turn there, I still think we're in a fine position, right?
Well, yeah, I think he has to jump through hoops to not lose this Kommo. Even if he does that, like, he needs to go Landorus and then somehow find a way to keep Kommo out even after that. So
yeah, but I mean, if he went Landorus, I was always going Screamtail, like always going. Screamtail.
Like, it was never so bad. I think you can usually force a win through this.
Yeah, in this position I would have been fine, but he clicks Knockoff, and again, I said we could set up Kommo-O in front of Roaring Moon if it locks a certain move, and we saw banded damage from the U-turn. It locked Knockoff. Dude, my ass is going Kommo-O and clicking DD. I don't give a shit. So it does do a chunk, reveals that we are Chestoberry. I DD once. I do have to DD again, but the knockoff won't do as much damage, and the crit did not kill me here. So it was a super free click, and then we just Drain Punch. This thing dies, and I'm just going to let the last 5 turns play out. We know how this ends. Kommo-O's going to get 5 kills.
Goodbye.
Yeah. So the differential could have been higher for my opponent, but I don't know. I feel like this game was like we had our game plan perfectly established by that point. I mean, the second Rotom Heat hit the field, the game was over.
Yeah. This was just like a complete out prep. There was nothing he can do. I mean, the only thing that you can really hope for in their position is that the grass crown can somehow stay healthy enough to not die to the Kommo and then be out
I think it was
during
at
a DD, but
right? Let's see. I think it was at 53.
Yeah. So like this turn pretty much sealed the game.
Yeah.
Just taking that U-turn.
Yeah.
Even just taking that spike might have sealed it. Like you needed it as healthy as humanly possible.
I do know +2 Drain Punch into a neutral Iron Crown did about 60%. Which, by the way, Kommo-O is so dog shit, dude. It only did 62 at +2. Come on.
Yeah, no, he's pretty bad for that, but he somehow got the win out.
Yeah. So, I mean, we did spend more time on the team builder than the game itself, but I mean, honestly, that kind of tracks. This build was like I feel like we thought this out pretty well. I think
that's good insight into how you were this week because you spent so much time on the builder.
Yeah,
and then just this happens.
Yeah, I will say after week 2, I was already starting to feel like, this team feels good, but it requires like so much brain power to accomplish anything like meaningful. And I'll talk about it more in week 5, but that does not go away like at all throughout the rest of the season. Wait, please tell me I fixed my dimensions. Oh, dog, I didn't fix my dimensions. This video's fucked.
Oh, come on, bro.
It's
what
fine,
the hell?
I'll just, you know what? Week 2 can look like shit. Fuck it. You guys got to see Kommo-O sweep like in shitty quality. Congrats, guys.
What the fuck? How did you fuck that? What do you mean?
I'll show you later. Just
oh my god.
Next video, just remind me to move my shit over when we move from Team Builder.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyways,
Jesus,
dude, these videos are gonna suck. Holy shit. But yeah, I mean, really, not much else for my opponent to do. I mean, I honestly feel like the second Blastoise or Quillfish weren't there. I felt super comfortable, like, that I was going to win this game with Kommo-O.
Yeah, it was mostly a preview win, but there usually is something your opponent can do to like, if you like really outplay it, then you can win. But just the moment the crown was in range, it was over.
Yeah.
Completely.
I will say, even if they didn't tear grass there and I didn't misclick, I think Crown was like going to be chipped in range after one spike plus a U-turn plus a second spike plus
absolutely
at 100% anyways. So like, it wasn't O-culling me; it was AV. I'm pretty sure it was bulky too. Like I think it had like max HP.
Well, what they need to do is keep as much damage on the field as possible, and like not have Rotom in, not have Val in, I guess.
Yeah. Could have maybe been scary, but yeah, swag. So Kommo-O got 5 kills this game. Put 5 on the kill board for Kommo-O. This guy sucks. Yes, that was week 2. Again, I said the rest of these games get a little more interesting after week 1 as I get a little bit more comfortable with the team and just like how I need to build my games. So hope this showed that. The misclick was pretty bad though. But overall, I think I played this fine. I don't see, after rewatching, I don't see too many points where I like fumbled super bad other than like maybe I should have respected the crit this turn when I U-turned the Ogerpon and just bullet punched that bitch.
I don't really mind stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was really just the only way that you can realistically lose is if he can get every single one of his fucking kills with U-turn.
Yeah.
Like it was not really realistic for you to lose with this prep.
Yeah. And I mean, even if he like tried to kill Screamtail with it and collect Iron Head, the game was over. So, la la la. What can he do? Anyways, guys, we'll be back for week 3, which is probably my favorite game of the season, honestly. If not, it's week 3 or week 5. I think is my favorite. So
interesting.
Look
Okay.
forward to those. All right. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.